totally and brutally honest here. Sean Corbin makes Valery Brudov look like Ivan Drago. It's as simple as that. He's beat what's in front of him tonight. He faces me. He's going to visit mental demons again. And let's get something straight. Come to me, mate. You come to me. Next time, ain't no judges going to be needed. I'm going to do worse than Kovalev. I am going to do worse than Kovalev.
On Saturday night, mate, you better hold it together. I'm going to smash it near you to pieces, mate. I'm going to hit him. When he gets in the ring and we get 10-ounce gloves on, I'm going to smash his head to bits. I'm going to do it November the 30th against all odds. No matter what people say, the journalists write what you want. All as I'll say is tune back in and then look at me on December the 1st when I am world champion. It's as simple as that.
I'm willing to die in that ring. It's as simple as that. I am willing to die. I'm willing to die, Saturday. Is he?
You fucking rat!
French. First nomination, Callum was on Twitter talking about his depression. Fowles jumps in, been nominated by JS Park again. Anthony Fowler jumps in on the situation. Hello, Callum. Sorry to see this post. I've been tagged in. I hope you're feeling better. I'd love to offer you some free CBD products from @supreme_CBD. Never lets an opportunity ride does older. Fowles there with CBD. One from you, Andy.
Yes.
Coming in here. This is boxingscene.com. Rolly Romero from last week. I won that fight. No problem. Hard to KO somebody that won't engage at all. I'll say one thing for Romero. He has turned heel and he's using it to his advantage. He's becoming the bad guy, which is the right thing to do in this situation.
An absolute fucking spanner of a man, that, by the way. I just give the guy the rematch, no bullshit and stuff, and get it done right. And by work with... I actually sent John Evans a tweet actually to show Billy Graham it, as well as he's seen him doing some pad work with, I don't know if it's his dad or his trainer and that in the fucking gym, and he's trying to be all Floyd Mayweather and that. He's fucking garbage at it, man. Just work on the fundamentals, get your jab working, and just follow the right hand behind it. Just work on that, because whatever you're getting fed in that gym just now, man, it's not enough. You are shite to watch. He's got a decent punch, I will say that, but it's
against two though. I mean, he hasn't
exactly.
beaten anybody yet.
As I said, I think that was his first step up to 12 rounds as well for an 8-rounder. I think it was. He needs seasoning badly, and I don't rate him at this point. I'm not saying that he's not going to be becoming good, but off what I've seen him, that is shit, man. He needs fucking far better training.
Yeah, well said. Chris Van Heerden has tweeted out, I still have fight left in me. I still have a dream and a fire that inspires me. I'm a hard fight for anyone at 147, and they know it. Just give me a fair shot and I can prove myself. # Team Van Heerden. David Friend jumped in and said, would like to see you in with Crawford. Yeah, he may be the only one, I would think. David Almed nominated him for that one. Phil, who was on the call earlier, has nominated James Callan. Taylor versus Pursoon is worth the £20 alone, says James, who probably didn't watch the main event after spending his £20. Kakashi has been nominated by Mr. Anderson. Seeing as Dillian White is trending, he is a bad man when confronted. # White Povetkin. Well, Povetkin pretty much confronted him in that 5th round. And we all saw what ended up there. Zeconomics has nominated Frank Warren. Warren tweeted out Daniel Dubois finishing, I think it was Kajanu, and he tweeted out, throwback to when an opponent poked their tongue out at Daniel Dubois and ended up falling on their own leg. So Frank there, Rob, stealing a bit of Tyan Booth patter. He's down with the kids now, is Frank Warren.
He knows all about the internet now. I don't know if he'd be a big fan of Tyan Booth if he's listened to the way he gets described on the channel, or maybe he just has a crack about it. You know what I mean? I think Frank is a geezer, man. Like, I definitely prefer Frank than Eddie, like, but that's not, you know what I mean? What kind of choice have you got there, like?
I know, exactly. It's like picking between the electric chair and the lethal injection, isn't it?
Exactly, baby.
Good old Frank. I don't think he's running his Twitter, but we love Frank these days. The Bullet 79 says, leave Tony alone to enjoy his family and friends. This is off the back of the WBC announcing they've put Tony Bellew in charge of their new committee regarding the possible creation of a new weight class, Andy, between cruiserweight and heavyweight. How's Tony going to find the time for this?
I don't know, mate. He just wasn't left alone, so I don't know how he's going to find the time. Hopefully, if he's going to make a suggestion in that, then we get the cruiserweight division down to 190. It might push some of the bigger cruiserweight guys to go up to heavyweight, but I don't know. I mean, it's just leave it. We need less divisions. Go back. I think you could go down to at least, what is there? How many divisions is it again? Is it 17? 16?
16, I was going to say,
16.
but I could be wrong.
I think
it's
the
uneven
reason
them,
they're
but
doing it is for health, though, isn't it? Like,
no, it's
you
not.
think
It's for
of,
fucking mere sanctioning fees. I mean, the fucking
I
between the
suppose, but like,
WBA and WBC, they've got 8 title holders at 135.
I know all that, but like, we don't give a shit about the titles at this stage anyway. Like, I mean, if it's saving a fella, if that's 270 beating a lad that's 220 to death, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like there is unfair matchups in the heavyweight with complete like weight classes out the window. Like, you could be giving up 3 stone to someone, like, potentially. So it's fucking, I don't know, man. Do you know what I mean?
I think we need to go down to 10 divisions. Fuck this, man. I mean, they need more divisions. We need less divisions. Because at the end of the day, see, as I said last week, Steve, I forget who it was, Benavidez. These fuckers cheat the weight constantly to try to cram themselves into the smallest division possible. If you actually had proper testing, i.e. maybe rehydration test, to see, okay, this guy's dehydrated. He shouldn't be fighting. He should be fighting more, maybe 5-10 pounds north of what he's at just now, because he's just depleting himself. He's washing out all his fucking nutrients and liquids and stuff like that. This guy's basically you can't do that. So I think rather than just like say drug tests, need rehydration tests. These guys should be fighting at least sometimes 6-7 pounds heavier than what they're fighting at. It's a fucking joke.
I agree. I agree.
Bellew.
Rob, I was just going to say, I agree with what Andy's saying there, but you've raised like the literal elephant in the room. It's something I've wondered about for a long time. I think whenever Wilder came in so low, it was either the first or second Fury fight. I thought to myself, you know, if you had a guy ballooning up from lightweight to welterweight or whatever, people go mad. But you literally have like 3 or 4 weight classes spanned in some of these heavyweight fights.
Exactly. All bets are off. Like, so I think from a safety point of view, I'd say it would make sense, and I think it'll make a cracking division. And you could call it the red hot dreadnought division, and Bellew will definitely get to the bottom of it. And there definitely will be no dopers in the new WBC dreadnought division, because Tony, who was so adamantly against doping in boxing, would not be seen to be associated with something like that or commentate on the main card between 2 known users. So I don't know how he's going to fit this into a schedule, man. I mean, Jesus Christ, like, could he take on any more Bellew? Like, fucking hell, man. It's like it's beyond the parody of what we used to call it, like that he'd be at the opening of an envelope. He's fucking everywhere, man. Tony Bellew. You see the more since he retired than he was when he was a fighter. Fucking hell, it's a long time since he fucking bounced over Mackenzie's head off the canvas, I'll tell you that. Fucking hell, man. He's everywhere.
Is it Andy, regarding the weight division? Are they generally thinking of calling it the dreadnought division, or is that like a slang thing? Everyone's taking the piss out of it?
No, there was some guy at the WBC convention that actually proposed that was the name of the new division. I thought the way they were talking, it was going to be a division over heavyweight, but the way they're talking now is talking about a division between cruiserweight and heavyweight. Which what is it? But you know, what is the, you know, there's not even a bigger difference, about 20 pounds minimum, really, kind of heavyweights between that and cruiserweight. I mean, Wilder comes in usually.
I think it's 200 to 225, is it?
Yeah, but I'm just trying to think, like, who's the lightest heavyweight at the minute who could maybe make cruiserweight? Maybe Wilder.
I think.
Yeah. But then you look at Wilder. I mean, where's that extra 15 pounds going to come from?
Could
you think about it?
Could he make cruiserweight?
Hunter.
Even?
Who, mate?
Hunter,
probably. Yeah.
Alan
Usyk, obviously.
That Babbage last night, he looked quite small, didn't he?
Yeah.
Dillian White, if he got on the super juice, the super shakes.
Nah, he needs to go on the fucking the Diarrhea stuff, you know.
Thing is dreadnought, is that not like a naval term or something? Like, it's like the old pirate ships, isn't it?
HMS Dreadnought's an old navy ship, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, Saul Farah.
Yeah, Saul Farah's campaigning for the new weight class. That opens up a whole new opportunities for him. What's the other guy called?
Hermani.
Steve,
Hermani.
Oh,
yes,
Cesar Mamani. Or Edmund Tababari.
Yeah.
They don't fuck about over there. They would have the heavyweight title and the cruiserweight title on the line in the same fight.
Whilst Farah's refereeing as well.
With Farah
as well as boxing.
Just think about the lows and highs we've had in quarantine. We were so low a few months ago, we were covering Saul Farah fights, looking for content. And then last night we had the upset of the year, like, absolutely brilliant. Sandwiched in between Fury and Wilder. Like.
It's been a great road to success. Let's get on with Bellew the Week's boy. JG has nominated David Taylor. Taylor says, I've been a casual boxing fan for 60 years. It's about time all the heavyweight belts were stripped and a fight-off created where Dillian gets a fair shot, not another final eliminator. He needs a fair shot, says David Taylor. He took a fair shot last night. I don't think he's getting any.
You fucking savage, Steve Owens. You fucking savage.
Oh, well, he's an assassin.
Oh, Savage Welland, man. Fuck's sake.
Just came to me. What about Steve Bunce, Andy? He's been nominated here by David Almond. Odd how so many of the people knocking Dillian White in my indie sport column back Trump, tweet with casual racism, vert immigrants, and back the clown Boris. I had a look. Scary. Just saying. Don't mix politics with football, Buncey. Sounds like a desperate man with that tweet.
Yeah, well, yeah, that he's at the troll. He knows what he's doing with it and stuff. He knows he's going to get a few bites off that, so maybe that's what he done at the end of the day. But who knows? Bunce being Bunce at the end of the day. Bunce is quite sensitive. Actually, he doesn't like criticism. Even though he disguises it pretty well when he's talking, but on Twitter and that, he just can't handle it. He can't handle the bants.
Can't handle the bants, Buncey. Come on, lad. Trading of the Boxing has nominated Dominic Ingle. On Instagram, not being funny. Someone was giving Dominic a pat on the back for his groundbreaking meal plans or something. He said, "I'm not being funny, but it's just a poached egg on toast with some asparagus. You don't need Ingle's cookbook for that one." And he's actually right, Andy. I have it in front of me on Instagram. Someone's going, swipe up, big up to Dominic Ingle, and he's basically got asparagus on toast on a plate. So if that's the criteria, maybe we could do the old beans on toast or something and bring out some style cookbook.
That'd be amazing, mate.
I certainly would. Eddie Venom Brock, Bellew of the Week for him. No disrespect, but why am I here when the boxing voice is on? Good question. Well, you ain't here no more, because I just blocked your ass.
Yeah, fuck off. Him.
Had to block him for that.
Ungrateful cunt, man. You get us for fucking nothing.
Cheeky bastard. Go off to the boxing voice then. Didn't even know that was still going. I've never actually listened to that.
Nest the grass. You go and listen to that grass, by the way. Somebody who wore a wire to get his mates touched up and put in jail for a cocaine deal he wasn't willing to do fucking prison time for. Ness, you're a grass.
You're a grass. Philip Ginley, biggest Anthony Fowler fan in the world, has been nominated by Sam Dorset for getting a Team Machine tattoo on his bicep. As boxing tattoos go, it doesn't look the worst, but yeah, you should have got CBD Kidder tattooed on his neck or something. That would have set the men against the boys. You ain't no super fan, Philip. You need to up your game. Nomination from Gary Kavanagh for Donald Trump. Shout out to the great Ernie Holmes, says Donald, a forgotten heavyweight champion. Maybe because his name is actually Larry, says Alex McClintock. So, nomination for Big Donald there. Who was a big boxing fan back in the day, Andy? Trump Plaza in Atlantic City, ringside for many a fight, so he should know better.
Yeah, he had the casinos. You know, I think he hosted Duran against fucking Davy Moore, I'm sure. He was at a lot of Ali fights and that. Big Donny liked his boxing and stuff, and he's fucking boxing for his career now actually as well. Can you imagine if he wins this re-election? By the way, the world was going to fucking burn to the ashes. By the way, it's going to be glorious. There'll be carnage everywhere.
Maybe a return to boxing, who knows? A friend of the pod, Sam Chatwin, shout out to Sam, throwing in a few super stickers last night as well. Bellew of the Week for Shannon Courtney, putting out a statement saying it was an unfair decision against Rachel Ball that most had her winning. Nomination. Oh, we've got a good one here. This is so good, I've put it together to play it. This was sent in by many people, including Marcus Bellinger and Ian at Captain Chunk 17. Chris Mannix on the Fight Camp edition of Jabs on DAZN USA was live with Gareth A. Davis, and he came up with this one. I've put a little viewer discretion in case you're offended at the beginning. So let's hear what Chris Mannix had to say to Gareth A. Davis.
You know, it's funny. I think in the U.S., he is somewhat underrated because I think there are a lot of people that lump Dillian White into the kind of Dominic Breazeale, Andy Ruiz, mid-fringe contender type of status, when to your point, I don't think that could be further from the truth. I mean, think about it. In his second fight after losing to Anthony Joshua, he went out and fought Dave Allen, who's a solid fighter and not somebody that a lot of fighters coming off a loss like that would take on right away. Go down the list as you just did. He fought some top-level guys.
Ozzy, get in here. Get your ass in here, Ozzy. You fucking speak up right now. I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Well,
Well,
it pissed me off. I did 2 years ago when he was on about, he wouldn't even know who Dave Allen is. Like I said, this guy Allen wasn't even on the scene then. And I replied to this and said, he's not got a fucking. Allen's best win at the time was against Fabrice Orieng. It was like a French champion at best. So how the hell he can say, oh, White made the step up and coming off a loss against Joshua 2 fights in, he fought Dave Allen. And Dave Allen, who hadn't even operated above English level at the time. So it's absolute bollocks. And he got called out, and it was just a complete myth. He then basically defended White for turning down fights against Pulev, Ortiz and Joshua, saying just because you turn down a fight because of the finances doesn't mean you don't want it or doesn't mean you duck. Well, why do the majority of fights not happen? Cash. That means basically the majority of people have never ducked a fight in their life. This guy's a clown, and he's one of the these days championing rubbish and telling people it's like what they want to hear or what they're trying to direct them to. And he essentially used Dave Allen as a prime example as to why Dillian White is underrated. Therefore, that point is not valid. That point is wrong, and he should not be given this platform again. It's a disgrace. And I invite him onto the podcast. And he can explain his points. And if I agree with it, which is very unlikely, we might be able to have a conversation. But otherwise, he will be then open to interpretation from the rest of the panel. But he has an invite to come and explain himself to our thousands of listeners each week. And let's see what he says. Will he accept the invitation? Will he make the journey or will he not?
Yeah, Chris.
Yes, Chris. Mr. Mannix.
Are you going to come on with these numbers we're doing, Andy? It's like nothing he's ever seen before.
Listen, mate, we're drawing in so much money these days that we can actually pay for him to come on the podcast.
Yeah. But we won't because we're men of principle.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
We give our money to the homeless and the needy.
Yeah. Chuckwoo. Where is Chuckwoo, by the way, on that point?
He says he's working in the local shelter and that, so we'll catch him later.
Good lad is Chuckwoo. Giving out soup. Eggy Phil says, Dave Allen's had more media stories and promotion than the Yorkshire Ripper. The Ripper, he has a fleeting association with boxing. We'll not get into that right now. Kevin Chase has nominated that twat Adam Smith for being on earlier. No, he hasn't. Not Paul Smith. He said that twat Adam Smith, Bellew of the week, for claiming Frank Warren contacted Eddie because he wants a piece of the Matchroom Square Garden. Liam has said nomination for your man Gabe on the post-fight pod last night for saying that the first time Povetkin has shown heart in a fight by getting up off the floor twice. He's obviously forgetting the 5 times he got off the deck like a coiled spring against Vlad.
I forgot Gabe was on the podcast last night until someone mentioned it to me on Twitter. That fucking Gabe last night. Gabe's on the pod, was he? I fucking forgot about it. Oh, I was wired to fuck last night. Like, it was tremendous.
He did. He signed off with a crying like a little bitch, and then he exited stage left.
Oh, brilliant. I need to go back and listen to it now.
Yeah, go back and listen. It's on YouTube, everybody. It's on the iTunes feed, Patreon feed. It's on every feed you can find. Ted Barrett has nominated Timo Stone. Adam Smith is arguably the best boxing commentator ever, but anyone but Macklin alongside him. Please, the Danny Mills of boxing commentary. Oh, dear. Bean, the greatest.
Danny Mills of commentary.
And he also said Bean is the greatest of all time. The GOAT on commentary.
Bean!
Oh, man.
Bean! Would have been, could have been, should have been, never been. Baked bean, creepy bean, beanie, Rumpelstiltskin. We're on to you.
We're on to you, Beanie.
On to you, Bean. David Almond has nominated Callum Smith. After 3 years of using CBD, we have decided to do our own. It's helped us, our family, and our friends in so many ways, so we can't wait to help others. Please retweet, support, and follow at CBD Vape Russ for discount codes and weekly competitions. Yes, indeed, the Smith Brothers CBD oil, 2000 mg broad spectrum, has now been bought out. I'm not going to touch that one. Get yourself on that, Andy.
Oh, hey, I'm on everything around me. I'm fucking pills, powder. No, I'm joking, obviously.
Oh dear. Gary Reid Bellew of the week for Boxrec having Povetkin's win down as a TKO. You couldn't get a more convincing KO.
But listen, Boxrec have still got that as a TKO. Apparently, if you didn't count to 10, it's no class as a knockout. What the fuck are you
What's the
talking
point
about?
in that?
What is the point? That's like knockout of the year, like just slightly behind. Well, not even behind Rosario against Julian Williams. That was like knockout of the year so far. Think about it. You're not
Doesn't
going
make
to
any
get
sense because you think of the KO, they're like you're KO'd, you're banged out. They're not, the chances are they're going to dispense with the count early. So I don't understand that criteria.
I mean, you could have counted to next Wednesday. The fucking White was double lying there, man.
In Eddie's garden.
Oh, but you could
putting out the bins.
you could have dug a hole in the back garden and buried them there.
Dillian, make sure you put the recycling bin on Tuesday, will you?
Well, he's fought on the bin men, I suppose.
Oh god.
Tyson Fury's like, you big doss. Cut my grass at the same time, you fucking bum.
Des Watson has nominated Matthew Macklin for saying Povetkin never won a round. Can we make it 2 weeks in a row?
Oh no, fuck! Yeah, but I had that one as well on my list. Actually, Povetkin never won a round. Fuck me, man. What happened in round 5 again? Tell me. Fuck.
Yeah, pretty much. Sam Chatwin, nomination for David Hay on IFL, saying White wasn't given a count when Fury was, and it wasn't fair. Fury was not comatose. The referee Jack Reese said Fury was awake when he looked into his eyes. So Bellew of the week for David Hay for saying that Dillian White deserved a count.
Why was sleeping by the time he actually like. See the picture you put up on that Russian national anthem, by the way? It was brilliant because I thought like we looked at White's face at that moment. It was like he was petting her having a shit.
That was a man's soul leaving the body, wasn't it?
Oh, you can see it just oozing out the air, just evaporating into the night sky and that. Eddie Hare's like that. Bellew's crying. Gringer's like fucking can't believe it. I mean, think about it as well. Tony Bellew's like almost crying, but he never heard him once mention about these two being drugs cheats as well. Tony's like,
that's what I said last night, man. Bean and Macklin like they were at a wake or something. I thought they were going to burst into tears, man. I mean, I don't know why I'm enjoying this so much, but it's actually quite funny.
It's fucking brilliant. Listen, when we fuck up and maybe make a mistake in that, people usually give us shit and that, whatever that. So it's good to give them in the fucking like, the mainstream, so to speak.
Public eye,
yeah. Just, I mean, honestly, Sky are an embarrassment these days. And that, honestly, I mean, hopefully they didn't renew that fucking deal with Eddie, like, and they open it up to everybody else because it's just this isn't working for me. I mean, Eddie, I'm not getting into it. I mean, obviously we're going to get the Bellew of the week thing stuff, but it's just not working for me at the minute.
Yeah, no, Andy's right. If you give it, you got to take it, and we certainly get it, and you got to give it out to the mainstream as well. Right, I have had a few coming in on Twitter, so I'm going to be reading these. I'm going to be reading these out. So one was from Dave Batty at Duke Dave. He said, Bellew of the week for the Guru, stinking out his local car park. # cleverly Bellew too. Poor Guru, getting that one. Phil has nominated Canelo Fanboy for saying that Canelo was the closest to beating Mayweather. I think that's a spoof account, to be honest. And Sam Dorsey has nominated somebody. Quite a long thread, so I'm not going to go through that now, but I'll take your word for it, Sam. I know you're always good for a Bellew of the week or two. Somebody else has just pulled me in here. It's Check Left Hook. We've been nominated 6 times. LFC 1. Let's have a look here, Andy, while we're live on air. Who's the fat cunt on the right? Says 6 times LFC. Oh, and Tommy's tagged me in, so there you go. I've been brought into the fight either way. Have you got any nominations, Andy?
Yeah, I've got a few, mate. So Sky Sports Boxing on August the 18th for tweeting out that video of Dillian White laughing his bollocks off with a caption, when someone suggests you fight Daniel Dubois instead of your mandated world title shot. Oh, that aged like a fine wine. It's beautiful. It's like my fucking bottle of whiskey for last night. £16.50 from Lidl. Ben Bracken. Beautiful. The Zone, they won't accept or approve Yavne Yildirim against Canelo Alvarez as next opponent. The Zone's just really going in the shit on that. So Skipper needs to get his fucking snifter out of that fucking binga chingy he's got, actually. So come on, Skipper. You get that shit fixed. Oscar coming out of retirement at age 47, and he's now been touted as well, Steve, for fighting Sergio Martinez after that fight at the weekend. Yes,
And one knee
yes.
has got to go.
Fucking hell, some habit's got to go. Keith Furman saying Terence Crawford hasn't earned any respect at 147, which is fair enough. But then he's come back and said that he wanted a $5 million. I think it was $5 million he wanted minimum to sign with Top Rank, and then $10 million to fight Crawford. I mean, fuck's sake, you need fans for that type of shit.
I don't know what cloud he's living in Thurman, but you want to enter that world, don't you? He's in he's on the Chuck Crew stuff.
No, Chuck was very emphatic last time. He doesn't smoke that stuff, but
he was, to be fair.
But he's on the cookie dog, Cookie Dog, Lemon Haze, Applejack. He's smoking some fucking weapons grade with that shit. Like, man, he's at K2 base camp now. Actually, that's where he is. That cunt. And I've got one other one. Actually, well, White for getting knocked out last time, which was funny. Hernandez getting knocked out as well, which was also funny. Fuck me, man. But Bob Arum just steps forward, gummies in the mouth, smoking a fucking toke. Says Dillian White was so busy fighting for his WBC mandatory position that he didn't see Povetkin's uppercut, which knocked him cold on his ass. And he also added something else actually.
London Bridges or something, wasn't it?
That's what his Pulev will KO Joshua Nix. London Bridges are falling down. And this one late fake Canelo fanboy. Unpopular opinion. At age just 23, well before his prime, Canelo was the closest to KOing Mayweather. I know many of you know it, but you're afraid to say it and or admit it. Hashtag stanky leg.
Yeah, I think that's a troll account. He showed a little gift, didn't he, of him landing a jab or something. I think that's bullshit.
Yeah. So we'll put that one in there as well, but just for a bit of bants. But no, I'm batting heavy for either Mannix or Macklin this week. Like,
yeah, Macklin's had another bad week, but he won it last week, so we don't want to give him too many awards, although he might need them. Who knows? Ozzy, any nominations from you?
So the first one is for Jake Wood.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Jake Wood tweeted out saying, at Sky Sports Boxing, I feel so bad for at Dillian White. Over 1,000 days mandatory and now a shock loss to Povetkin. Toughest sport in the world. Everything is wrong about this tweet. For a start, he was not mandatory for 1,000 days. Being ranked number one is different to being the mandatory. And again, was it a shock? Not as much, but the gripe there is fucking 1,000 days mandatory because it's just not the case.
Are they counting back to that Helenius Silver title, Ozzy? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think it must be, yeah. I don't know. It must be, yeah.
That's not true.
Must be. It's like 3 years they're claiming that. That's absolute bullshit.
They're still peddling that shit today on Twitter, mate. They're still peddling that shit today. Oh, he's been mandatory now for like 1,000 odd days and stuff. And you got Sky tweeting out about Dillian White aging process and all that sort of a load of guff.
It works though. It works because I'm in a WhatsApp group with lads I used to go to school with, and they're all football fans, but they would occasionally dabble in the boxing, and I have to keep muting it because you don't want to go in as like the wanker who sort of knows everything. They're actually going, I can't believe it. He should have got his shot. It's not fair. Blah blah blah. So it does work, the propaganda.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, Joseph Gorbo's made it work, I suppose.
I'm guessing we picked up Macklin on his burner account just then as well. Did we? Did we get that one? That
No. What account
right.
is this? What's this?
Yeah. So I put it in the WhatsApp as well. So Macklin
my phone.
has tweeted out, and he's replied to a comment, and he has said, in inverted commas, I also see that they tried pulling him out. If you translate what was said at the end of the fourth, I see a Russian post on here today saying something along the lines of, you can't keep taking shots, they become more powerful. Are you okay to continue? So I doubt at Macklin is lying. So he's clearly forgot to switch accounts and has wrote the tweet which was defending himself on his same account, and he's tagged himself in it. I know he's just replying to people saying lol and like those hiding faces and stuff like that. So he's clearly forgot to switch accounts and has done that instead and has tagged himself in his own tweet defending himself.
My WhatsApp's fucking. I've got about 200 messages in my WhatsApp. What the fuck is going on here, man?
Who would have thought that Matthew Macklin would have had access to burner Twitter accounts?
Oh no, I mean, it wouldn't be like Eddie
He's
to
on the
log into
Sky
accounts and
Taylor,
that as well, you know. Oh, aye. Which is a shame actually, because Matt can talk decent boxing and stuff, but when you sell it, mate, listen. What is wrong with having a different opinion or calling it how you see it? I mean, Jim, for all his faults, Jim Watt, Bingo and all that sort of stuff. At least Jim fucking seen that. He called it how he seen it. Ian Dark, Glenn McCrory.
Yeah.
There's some other guys. Barry McGuigan would have called it how he seen it as well. Paul Dempsey, David Haiti had agree as well. If you can just go off
Would Barry have called it a robbery, Andy?
Eh? I mean, what I mean, though,
You're right, Andy, as well. Because when Macklin first came on the scene as as a co-commentator, I thought he was excellent. He called it as it is. He didn't mind, going against the home fighter. I thought he was excellent and a real good addition. And I put him in the category as like Malignaggi, who literally will call it as he sees it. And like when Buatsi knocked out, was it Reynold Quinlan? He said live on Sky, he went, I don't know why they're bringing in the likes of Reynold Quinlan on like a week's notice. Give him a full camp and Buatsi will still smash him to bits. And that's great. That's what you want. Now it's a case of they come on, they impress people. Andy Clark was the same as well. Andy Clark was excellent at what he does. He came on, it was refreshing to hear a Sky main commentator call it as it was. After that, it's like he's been swayed and says, no, your agenda is to basically push the home fighter. And it happens. John Rawlings the same. The best thing about Box Nation was the commentary. They didn't care about swearing. You'd hear the corners. And the two commentators, regardless of whether it's home or away fighter, they'd call it as it is. It's like the mainstream TV channels in Sky and BT just want commentary that is biased towards the home fighter. And that's it. And it's frustrating. And I know we made this point before, but it's frustrating because when you get you do get former fighters that know what they're on about and they make real good points, both technically and just calling the fight as a whole. When the opinion is somewhat swayed, you lose respect for them and think, well, why should I listen to X, Y, and Z when they can't call a fight fair? It does become frustrating.
Any nominations from you, Rob, before we wrap it up? Robert. Any nominations, Rob?
I've got one for Adam Smith as well, actually. Sorry. I have one for Adam Smith. Yeah. So Adam Smith at the weigh-in said you could, obviously, between Taylor and Pursoon, they were all masked up and you couldn't really see the faces. And he said that you could see the reaction, an electric reaction on Pursoon's face. I'm thinking, well, she's got a fucking mask on. So how can you fucking see that? You can't see anything. Look at the like the fierce reaction from Delphine Pursoon while she looks at Katie Taylor. You can't see out from her, mate, because she's all covered up. So the spin doctor Adam Smith loving another story just to weave in there, which again isn't factually true.
Yeah, and just another wee mention for Adam Smith not getting patched off Dave Caldwell like that. By the way, that is just embarrassing.
Yeah, that's another one.
You got fucking patched.
Completely pied. Yeah.
Rob, anything from you?
Bean.
Don't think Rob's got anything for us, has he? It's got to be the one for me, Andy. I think I'm going to go for Mannix, to be honest.
Mannix, without doubt, mate. I mean, talk about just bluster and just bollocks, man. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's like he's been talking to Coppinger. Eddie's like sent word to Coppinger, who sent it in on the Mannix, and he's just like give it to. And the thing is, to have Gareth A. Davis to actually even fucking agree with it, that just shows him up as well. By the way, listen, a late entry for Gareth A. Davis for the IFL interview when he said that White was knocked out before the punch was landed. I mean, what the fuck is all that about? Fucking Gary Gad. Fuck me, man. Aye, but without Mannix for me, man, that was bad. I mean, jeez, Dave Allen. Oh, fucking hell.
I'll have to go for Mannix. Who are you going for, Ozzy?
Yeah, agree. Completely agree. Mannix. And that invite is still there.
Rob, Bellew of the week, 387.
We need to get the listeners to start tapping up Mannix now and get him on the podcast. Not listen. You've been called out, Mannix. So let's get it on. Here's Rob.
I was
Nice
coughing in the kitchen, man. I had to get it together, get her outside. Bellew, Dillian White. I said, oh no, Macklin for the burn account. Why would you?
Burner account.
What would you what?
Cut out Rob.
I was being taken down by the system here.
Yeah, they can't get to Steve. I mean, listen, mate, we're still here,
Macklin
10 years later.
Yeah, exactly. So Macklin's a tough one.
Rob's going for Macklin. I think we'll go for Chris Mannix and finish up, shall we? Episode 387. Thanks to everybody who's been on tonight.